It's Money Matters Home Network TV. Welcome home with Roslyn Hendrickson. Join us on our next episode of Making Money Matter.
This program is brought to you by Hendrickson Legacy Group, where we're protecting those you love. You're watching a family and friends Christmas special right here on Money Matters Home. And now, our host, Roslyn Hendrickson.
Family Christmas memories. What's yours? Hi, I'm Nicole.
I'm Roslyn, your host.
And I'm Jay.
You know, one of my favorite times of year is Christmas. I have so many memories around Christmas, and there's things our family we've done over the years, but we just want to share some of our most favorite family memories as far as how we grew up and the things that we enjoyed at Christmas time. For me, one of my most favorite memories was centered around coffee. My dad was a coffee lover, and he always had the house filled with aroma of just coffee. It was amazing every morning. But Christmas morning, for me, the memories are so special because he always would make his first batch of coffee very early in the morning before all of us would get up. So I still have that, memory. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you today.
My memory is as a child, I loved baking cookies at night with my parents and setting them out for Santa. And I loved where we lived. We had a lot of snow around that time, so we'd always see snow coming down, and it would be so pretty. And sometimes we would go out and we would drive around and look at the different Christmas lights on the houses, watch Christmas movies, stuff like that. So that's my favorite memory.
And mine happens to be on Christmas morning. As children, we would awaken to not Christmas gifts, but the little brown bags that had candy, fruit, and nuts inside of it. That was more important to us than Christmas gifts. Not to mention that when my aunt and uncle would come visit us from out of town, my uncle always brewed a fresh cup of coffee, which is one of my favorite drinks today and has led me into an entrepreneurial side of talking about my love and passion for coffee.
So with that being said, Jay, I know that coffee, like I said today, we're talking about the warmth and the memories around a great cup of coffee and Christmas itself. There's nothing like a hot cup of coffee and just everyone talking and smiling and laughing. And for me, just kind of as I think back about our Christmas, my dad would get up very early that morning, and there would be snow a lot of times on the ground, and it would just be just cold outside, but something about that coffee would just warm the atmosphere. To me, it would set the tone for the rest of the day. And then what we would do, we would usually, my brothers and sisters, some of us would get up quite early, and sometimes it'd be like 6:30, 7 o'clock, but Dad he'd already be up. And of course, Mom would be getting up a little bit after we did because she'd already been up the night before cooking. But something about us gathering around the tree, and I remember my dad would set it usually at the end of the table, or we'd all gather in the living room, and he'd have his cup of coffee, and he'd sit there, and we would all open our gifts. And for me, those memories will always last. They will always stay with me. So what do you think of that, Nicole? I know that those are some memories that we've had over the years. What does coffee do for you? I mean, what is it? Something about the coffee.
Especially iced.
Yes, I'm an iced coffee lover. I do like hot coffee, but I'm more of an iced person. I don't know, it just feels like it's like happiness in a cup, especially before I go to work. I just like that taste of like hazelnut creamer or caramel creamer. I don't know, it just makes me feel really good, and it helps me start my day before I start work.
And for me, I call it a hug in a mug, literally. I mean, it's like when I drink the coffee, Jamie, does it kind of gives that warmth in it, like a hug, a warm hug to start your day off?
It really does. And the thing about it is that when you have a nice hot, and I prefer hot coffee as opposed to my daughter's iced coffee, is something about starting the day with that hot cup of coffee, seeing the steam roll from the cup. It's a hug, and it gives you an opportunity to connect with what your day's gonna be, your outlook, and all the memories that you have of those who maybe drink coffee as well. One was my uncle, which was my aunt's husband. Every morning, like clockwork, he would brew a cup of coffee. He would sit at the table with his legs crossed, and he would sip on that coffee and just ponder the day's outcome. And then my grandparents would drink coffee, scorching hot coffee, mind you, that they poured a little bit in their saucer to cool it off. And we were allowed, at Christmas time, us young ones, were allowed to have coffee. So the memories go very, very deep. And so I enjoy a cup of coffee because it's very, very soothing. It's warm to the body, and it's a little soothing to the soul. Not to mention, not too bad for the taste buds.
Speaking of taste buds, I think coffee always pairs well with a donut.
I agree.
Or one of these amazing cookies. Butter cookies, my favorite this time of year for Christmas as well. This is a Christmas favorite for us, and it's just delicious. It's something about just enjoying that hot cup of brew. That hot brew is what I call it, and just calming, soothing the soul. You just wash it down, just chase the cookie down. But you can always enjoy it. That's what coffee does for me. It's just something about being out in the cold and coming into a hot cup of coffee. It's nothing like it and starting your day. And so I guess for me that's just about it. This is my love. It's one of my most precious memories for me. My dad would drink literally like about 8 cups a day of coffee. He literally loved coffee. So I think quite naturally I inherited that love of coffee. So to you guys, you want to take a toast, and we want to thank you for letting us come into your hearts and into your homes, and we hope that we've warmed your heart and your soul with a great cup of coffee.
Cheers.
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 Up next, Jay and Nicole will be talking about their entrepreneurial journeys.
A little bit of coffee trivia. Did you?
Stay tuned, there's more to come. And by the way, have a Merry Christmas from all of us here at Money Matters Home.
Another very fond Christmas memory of mine is when I was in college, and we did Operation Christmas Child, and me and like the other students, we went and got like toiletries and things like toothpaste, toothbrush, deodorant, soap, things like that. And we were even able to get little stuffed animals. And they wanted us to write encouraging notes to the children that may not have a lot,
Oh,
and
yeah.
being that it was a Christian school, we would put Bible verses and just put like a little prayer in it, and that was like just so special to me.
I think Christmas somehow brings out the joy and peace and the love of family and children. Think about it. Jesus Christ himself, born to Mary and Joseph, they were one of the first families that we read about in the Bible. And so that encourages us today as families to see the value, to show our love and goodness and spread good cheer at Christmas time. What better time to do that than the present, right? Or even over the past times that we've gathered, whether we were in a church with family and friends, or if we were at a gathering, in our homes, wherever it was. I'm sure most of us have some very pleasant memories that we can think back on. And for me, I always say we're creating memories every day, right? So even now, we're creating a special memory that we can look back on for years to come.
And what I love about Christmas as well is the fact that it's not all about receiving gifts and just like about you and what materialistic things you get. It's about obviously our Father, but also giving back and giving to others. I just think that it's such a special time.
And one of the things about Christmas memories is I remember is that growing up, we always listened to different Christmas songs.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, yes.
one of my favorites that I love even today is "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year," because it is. It's Christmas. It details the birth of Christ, the most perfect gift that any of us could receive. And then it just brings together the idea of family, of love, and of fellowship. So I love that song.
My favorite is "Oh Holy Night." The stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. You know, long may the world in sin and ever pining. You know, all those things that are in that song, it speaks to my heart. It speaks to my soul about who Christ is in our lives and what that means for me as far as and sharing the love of Christ with family and others out there, like you're saying, who are less fortunate.
And my favorite song is the Christmas song by Nat King Cole, "The Chestnuts Roasting."
Oh, yes.
I absolutely love that song. I think I put that on repeat
Yes.
every day.
Yes. I remember my mother playing that song. We had records. She had Christmas records when we were kids, and she would play it on the stereo. I think it was for at least a week or two leading up to Christmas. So I still have that special memory with my brothers and sisters, especially my younger brother Steve. If you knew Steve, if he's watching this, me and Steve would dance around I was about 7 or 8, and he's about 6 years old. So we would dance around the record player, you know, the stereo, and we would have a blast. The lights on the tree would just be blinking, and we turn out all the lights, and then we watch we listen to our favorite songs, and then watch our favorite Christmas movies and all of that. And of course, my dad, guess what he was doing? Sitting in a corner with a cup of coffee.
Get his coffee.
And those are things that I remember so well.
Well, to reiterate about love of coffee, I would like to mention that I've started an entrepreneurial venture, a coffee blog, and it details my love and passion for coffee and connecting to other coffee lovers. And I talk about my love for coffee, but I also talk about hot topics in the coffee world. So if you're a coffee lover, you're a coffee drinker, you want to check it out, please do.
Yes.
Go to brewbuddiesblog.com and you'll see my pretty mug on there, and you'll see some of my stories. So please check it out.
And you know what? What I love about Nicole here, Nicole actually has a collection of mugs. So she's always collecting mugs.
Yes.
Since I can remember, and being the profession she's in, teachers. I think every year you get mugs from your students and families. So it's become kind of a hobby. Of course, we have the coffee connoisseur, so we kind of brought the two together. And along with my memories, I mean, you can't get any better than this, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
All right. Well, and then of course we want to support Jay's entrepreneurial journey, and as well as Nicole. You want to tell us a little bit about some of the things that you like to do, or how we as a family, how we see entrepreneurship and how we want to pass that on.
For me, going into entrepreneurship is very important, especially as a younger person. I think it's important to really figure out what you want to do with your life, and be your own boss. You know, you work for yourself, and what better than to work for yourself and doing something that you love, right? So it's really inspired me to go into the same path. And I think, you know, anyone can do it as long as you set your mind to it, you put your work in, you find that niche or your passion, whatever. It is work, but it's worth it. And I just wanted to say that. But I'm definitely inspired, and I'm excited to see what's coming next year. So, yeah.
Well, I think we're all excited. You know, me being the CEO of Restore Living Network, and then also producer of the different shows we've done. It's exciting for me to be doing something like you're saying that I absolutely love, and I get the chance to talk to persons and people and all over the world. I mean, I'm just every day I'm bubbly. I get up. I'm so excited about all that it involves as far as impacting her and, you know, family, friends, loved ones, whoever, special people in your life that you've come to know over the years, and how you can find those things that you find in common. And so with us, we found coffee. So we want to share those wonderful memories with you. Again, I'm going to grab a little cookie here because these things are delicious with the coffee. Again, visit Jay's blog, and I think he already gave you the information. So we thank you for joining us today, and let us come into your hearts and into your homes. God bless you, and we'll see you very soon. Have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you for watching Money Matters Home. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from all of us here at Money Matters.